Come on.
Celebrate Ash's latest capture with the
Come on.
merch line. Link is down below. Welcome back to the series, where I give new teams to various trainers in the Pokemon world. The goal of this series is to give all major trainers new teams I believe fit them the most. In this video, I'll be going over all the changes I'd make to all the major trainers in the Sinnoh games. And as always, let's kick things off with the gym leaders, starting with Rourke. I never liked how his team was basically Brock 2.0, so let's change that. His team will be Onix, Larvitar, and Cranidos. Onix, he gets to stay as it evolves into Steelix, a Pokemon Rourke's father has. I think that's a really cool connection that links the two. So that means Geodude is the one out, and Larvitar is in. It's a Pokemon that's born deep underground, so I think it's a good fit for the miner Rourke who would probably find one mining underground. Plus, he even has a Tyranitar in the post-game of Platinum. It's destined to happen anyways. Gardenia. Her team will be Grottle, Leafeon, and Roserade. I decided to evolve her Turtwig as I think it should be a bit more stronger by the time you reach her. As for Leafeon, I added it because it fits way better with Gardenia's forest theme than Cherrim did. Yeah, it's a cute Gen 4 grass type, but I honestly think Leafeon's a better choice. Meilene. Her team will be Meditite, Monferno, and Lucario. Machoke is such a generic fighting type that almost every fighting type gym leader has. So to switch things up a bit, I'm giving her Monferno, which is a solid choice to be honest. She also has an Infernape in the Pokemon World Tournament, so it's not that crazy of a choice. Crasher Wake. His team will be Prinplup, Poliwrath, and Floatzel. Prinplup is here to round out all the Sinnoh starters. Poliwrath is such an obvious choice though. Crasher Wake is known to be a wrestler, so of course he should have a fighting water type. Fantina. From this point onwards, I'm giving the gym leaders 4 Pokemon. So Fantina should get Dusclops, Gengar, Drifblim, and Mismagius. This team is just a mix of the Pokemon she uses in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. They're a great fit honestly. I decided to evolve her Duskull even though it happens a lot later, but it just looks a lot better with all these evolved ghost types. Byron. His team will be Steelix, Bronzor, Lairon, and Bastiodon. The new addition is Lairon, since it's a Steel-type Pokemon that digs for the iron ore that it eats. Great fit for the Steel-type miner Byron. Candice. Her team will be Sneasel, Mamoswine, Abomasnow, and Frostlass. This is basically her Platinum team, which is honestly a perfect fit for her. I decided to evolve her Piloswine though, as I feel like Mamoswine suits her a lot better. Volkner. His team will be Jolteon, Manectric, Luxray, and Electivire. I wanted his team to basically consist of furry electric types. I know it sounds weird, but that's kind of the theme he was going for anyway. So the new addition is Manectric, which really fits well alongside Jolteon and Luxray. And now that we're done with the gym leaders, let's move on to the evil team of Sinnoh, Team Galactic. These are the Pokemon I believe should be used by their grunts. Zubat, Magnemite, Glameow, Stunky, Bronzor, Skorupi, Krogunk, Abra, and Drowsy. These Pokemon consist of pre-evolved ones used by their admins, obviously, but also a few new additions I made. Since Team Galactic is all about space, I think adding a few more psychic types like Abra and Drowsy help contribute to that astral theme. Now for the admins. Mars. Her team will be Golbat, Magneton, and Perugly. I decided to add Magneton as it would be a great Pokemon to have alongside with her in the Valley Windworks mission. You know, where she wanted to steal energy and whatnot, so that works. Jupiter. Her team will be Golbat, Kadabra, and Skuntank. I never liked how most of the Team Galactic admins share basically the same Pokemon minus their ace, so in this team, I gave her Kadabra. Since I wanted Team Galactic to have a bit more of a psychic focus, I figured I should just give her one. Saturn. His team doesn't really change. It's Golbat, Bronzong, and Toxicroak. Only real change is evolving his Bronzor. And finally, the Team Galactic leader, Cyrus. His team will be Gyarados, Bronzong, Houndoom, Honchkrow, Drapion, and Weavile. So there are 2 new additions here. I decided to replace Crobat since it's a Pokemon that was used by the last evil team leaders. I don't want things to get redundant. So I replaced it with Drapion. It's a menacing looking Pokemon that makes Cyrus's team look a lot more threatening. As for Bronzong, it's here to give Cyrus just one more Pokemon so he can have a full team. And now that we've gone over the evil team, it's time to move on to the Elite Four. Aaron. His team will be Yanmega, Scizor, Vespiquen, Armaldo, and Drapion. Platinum did a good job of beefing up his team, but I feel like he just needs one more change. I added Armaldo because it's a tough looking bug type that'll make things a bit more trickier thanks to its rock typing. You ain't gonna sweep him with fire moves, that's for sure. Bertha. Her team will be Gastrodon, Gliscor, Nidoqueen, Hippowdon, and Rhyperior. Whiscash is a good choice for her, but why have that when she could just have the Sinnoh water ground type? So that's why she has Gastrodon. As for Nidoqueen, it's here because it's a great fit for Bertha. Makes her look a lot more tougher, and it's way more unique and exciting compared to a Golem. No offense Golem fans, it's just that everyone has the Geodude line for some reason. The boy Flint. His team will be Rapidash, Houndoom, Camerupt, Magmodar, and Infernape. For Flint, I decided to remove Flareon cause it's kinda trash and gave him Camerupt instead. Not the best typing wise, but you know, beefs up his team a bit more than freaking Flareon could. Lucian. His Platinum team is honestly perfect, so no changes for me here. So with that, let's move on to the champion of Sinnoh, Cynthia. Now her team is dangerous, but I still wanted to make a few changes. Maybe it won't feel as badass as her original team, but I think Cynthia should have Dusknoir, Togekiss, Roserade, Lucario, Glaceon, and Garchomp. Since Cynthia's the champion of Sinnoh, I wanted her team to reflect one of the most famous aspects of this region, the new evolutions. That's why Dusknoir is here instead of Spiritomb. As for Glaceon, it's a Pokemon she uses in Black 2 and White 2 and in the anime, so it works well. Now for the rivals. First up is Barry. His team will be Staraptor, Luxray, Roserade, Floatzel, Snorlax, and Infernape. I believe Barry's canonical starter is meant to be Chimchar, which is why I gave him an Infernape. A monkey Pokemon is honestly a good fit for the energetic Barry. As for Luxray, I have it here because Barry actually uses one in the manga. It's another Pokemon that he's meant to have. Next up is Dawn. For the purpose of this video, she's going to represent the opposite gender rival, or, you know, just character, because she's not really a rival. Canonically, I see her using Piplup for obvious reasons. So her final team should be Clefable, Kadabra, Rapidash, Lopunny, and Empoleon. She doesn't get a fully evolved team in the games as she plays a pretty minor role, but I decided to change that. This is a mix of Pokemon she uses in-game, along with some of the Pokemon her manga counterpart uses. And now that we're done with the rivals, it's time to move on to the Sinnoh Battle Frontier. I won't be doing Thornton or Argenta as they literally use any Pokemon. So let's start off with Dahlia. Her team will be Ludicolo, Porygon Z, and Dusknoir. On top of being a dancer, her facility follows the arcade theme, so Porygon Z is a perfect fit. One, because it kinda has to do with technology, and since it learns Tri-Attack, it can cause different statuses like paralysis, burns, and even freezing, just like the gimmick the facility presents before a battle. Dirac. His team will be Empoleon, Licky, and Gallade. Empoleon and Gallade are Pokemon he already uses. As for Licky, I have it here because its design fits perfectly with Dirac's butler aesthetic and castle theme of the Frontier facility. Palmer. His team will be Rhyperior, Snorlax, and Dragonite. Rhyperior is here because of the anime, pretty straightforward. As for Snorlax, I have it here because it's a tough Pokemon that evolves from the Gen 4 Munchlax, and it's a Pokemon his son Barry uses. I love making little connections like that. Now, just because we're done with the Battle Frontier doesn't mean we're completely done with Sinnoh just yet. I want to end this video off with one last group of Sinnoh trainers, the Stat Trainers. These are the trainers you team up with across the Sinnoh region and can eventually battle at the Survival Area's battleground. They're called Stat Trainers because they all specialize in a specific Pokemon stat. I decided to take that one step further and give their teams Pokemon typings that are best with the specific stat that they specialize in. Let's start off with Cheryl. She specializes in HP, so I made her team consist of normal and fairy types, even though yes, I know fairy didn't exist back then, but the remakes are coming. Her team will be Snorlax, Slacking, Wigglytuff, Licky, Azumarill, and Blissey. These are some of the normal and fairy types that have the highest HP base stat. Mira. She specializes in special attack, so her types will be Psychic and Water. Her team will be Espeon, Gardevoir, Almastar, Gorobis, Starmie, and Alakazam. Riley. He specializes in attack, and since his ace is Lucario, I decided his main typings should be fighting and steel. So his team will be Metagross, Breloom, Scizor, Gallade, Hitmonlee, and Lucario. Buck. He specializes in defense and special defense, so his typings will be a mix of dark, rock, and ground. His team will be Umbreon, Spiritomb, Tyranitar, Swampert, Golem, and Claydol. And finally, Marley. She specializes in
speed. I am speed.
So her typings will be fire and electric. Her team will be Electrode, Raichu, Infernape, Manectric, Rapidash, and Arcanine. Pretty cool team if you ask me. And that wraps up all the team changes I'd make to all the major trainers in Sinnoh. Next region will be Unova, and there's a ton of trainers to go over there as well. So let me know the changes you'd like to see me make and why. But for now, thank you for watching this video everyone. Make sure to live your life to the fullest and have yourself a damn good one.